brought to you by Crawford Incorporated!
Okay.
Yes, this time Chandler, different style of driving in his lead with once again that little bit of a flick initiation, really deep. Oh my goodness, Chandler, how deep?
The outside clip, they're coming in. Nice fill of the
Crawford
zone.
with a bit of a rear dirt drop there, maybe a little shallow.
It's me in front of TV, though. I'm finally back. I'm doing my show. I'm calling it the 170 show. You should already know. So thank you for clicking on the video and let's get going.
I hope you bulletproof for this about to hurt.
Boom. Let's get this energy going, baby. You feel what I'm saying? So, first gear. Viral moments of the week, or as we like to call it, first gear.
It's free real estate.
Now this viral moment is crazy. It is allergy season.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Anyways, we're gonna keep this subject simple because it is allergy season and I probably sound absolutely horrible. So let's just keep it quick. Let's keep it as that. You did what I said. First things first. Boom. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is finally out this week.
Hello, monkeys.
That's got to be racist. There's no way.
Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is finally out this weekend. Its release date is the 11th of October. And for early users, I think they paid whatever the amount was, blah, 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 blah. They got it today. So, we finally got another Dragon Ball game. As you can tell, I'm a Dragon Ball fan. And I want to, hear me go crazy.
For this moment.
Tremble before my power!
Challenge accepted. I'll put you out of your mission. Don't you dare!
No more holding back! Like this!
You're dealing with the proud prince of all Saiyans. I will defeat you this day.
The time is now.
We also got a Dragon Ball series also coming out called Dragon Ball Daima. October 11th at, I don't know what time it comes out. Probably, I would say 3 o'clock Eastern time, just because, well, 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, because that's usually how they work. They wait for the entire United States to get over to the next day, but I don't know. It does come out the 11th, so something else to look forward to. I know there's supposed to be 20 episodes on it, so I do also know that this is going to be the first time that Dragon Ball is releasing a series or movie or whatever that allows a Japanese watcher, a United States watcher, or whatever your preferred language is. At one time, you'll all be able to watch it in your preferred language from day one, supposedly. The first time ever for Dragon Ball, usually you get the Japanese subversion of the show, and then you would get the English version like months later or something like that. But now apparently they're releasing it to where it's all in one day. You can get to watch whatever preferred language you are, so that's dope. I'm probably going to watch both anyway. Then next up, Venom 3. That's coming out October 25th. So Get your calendars ready because the villain is Null. For those who don't know, Null is basically the symbiote god. So basically, he made Venom. Venom had to fight his daddy. No daddy. You feel what I'm saying? Hi, Dad.
Crazy that I can never play Fortnite again or even create content for you guys.
But nah. October 25th. Mark your calendars. We are there. Day 1. Maybe even Thursday, the 24th. Venom 3. The Last Dance. Yeah, dude. MB Drift, aka Myrtle Beach Drift. They'll be hosting their Halloween Havoc event this October 19th and 20th. And yeah, I've been to their O-Fest and I competed throughout 2 of the rounds this year. It should be fun. Should be a lot of fun. They usually go into the night and they light up the track with a bunch of glow-in-the-dark type of lights. So if you have like neon lights and all that stuff, bring it, please. It'll just make it more pop. October 19th and 20th, MB Drift. Catch My Drift. Brought to you by Stage Wheels. Mr. Bill. The GOAT. Best wheels in the... I'm not biased. So, Catch My Drift is coming this weekend as well. It's the 25th through the 27th. This is their final round. They had 4 rounds as well as MB Drift. This is their final round though. Who will be under the championship? Don't know. But I gotta continue to get working on my stuff because I got a lot of work to do. I gotta finish the standings, get it to Mr. Joe, and I gotta finish the track map because I draw them for them. It's fun. We make some digital versions of it. You might have seen it on their Instagram, but yeah, I do draw the track layouts for them. So they'll make the layouts, draw it by hand, and then I just digitalize it so it just looks pretty. So yeah, Catch My Drift, October 25th through 27th. Tune in. Who is going to get the championship? The final announcement. Naoki Nakamura, Mr. Japanese, want to come to the United States of Formula Drift. Naoki Nakamura has won the last round of Formula Drift Japan. I watched it. I tuned in late into it. But I can say he looked good. I've seen a couple of his runs. We might be breaking some of that down later. But hope to see you in the United States next year, mister.
Final round. The first time winning, getting on top of the podium, driving the Team Valino in N-Style Silkway Sports N-Style GR86, Naoki Nakamura gets the win!
Second gear. So, boom, boom. Let me get a 2-piece combo with a biscuit. You feel what I'm saying?
What did you say?
So this is what we doing now? Wow. I guess this is what we doing now.
So, for second gear, we're going to be breaking down the final run of Formula Drift Japan that happened this weekend. And I want to give a huge congratulations to Koichi Yamashita, Kenguchi, and Kanta. So those 3 were the top 3 of the podium overall in the series. But obviously, like I said, in the first gear, Naoki Nakamura did win the overall event yesterday. So, boom, let's break that down. Congrats to Koichi Yamashita for winning the championship and dominated the championship. So obviously Formula Drift Japan, if you did watch, was at Okayama Circuit this weekend. Yamanaka and Naoki Nakamura. So let's see why he won overall and let's break it down. 3, 2, 1, start. So they're coming down the straight, as you can see. Obviously, you got the A90 versus the GR86, both my favorite cars. Naoki pulled a little bit of an angle out of it. Yamanaka's right on the outer zone, perfectly where he needs to be. Nakamura is falling back just a tad bit, dropped a little bit of a tire because he was a little bit late on his transition. Drops the tire inside. Yamanaka did pretty good on the lead position, and Nakamura was there, but he did make a few mistakes.
Right there, Naoki Nakamura doing his thing, what he is very good at.
That was very smooth. Nakamura looks like he threw a little bit too much angle coming into that second outer zone, but he did make up for it perfectly fine.
So that is some good driving by both
Okay,
of the drivers.
pretty good driving.
Matching the line.
Okay,
Good
so let's go
matching the angle
into
too.
run 2 now.
And I talked to Nakamura, you know, a few rounds ago, and he was saying, you know, it took him.
Now you got Nakamura in the lead position, and oh no, I think he was a little too close on the straightaway.
On the outside, Yamanaka.
Yeah,
Nakamura on the outside.
Nakamura just took off him, bro. I think he was Yamanaka was trying to get like right behind him, do a nose to tail entry, but he got a little bit too close and got pulled a little bit. He didn't want to hit him, that's for sure.
Looks like he bumped
Yeah, he might have tapped him.
Nakamura riding the outside line.
And yeah, that is a bigger mistake than what Nakamura made a mistake with. Obviously, Nakamura he didn't make too terrible of a mistake. He wasn't necessarily gapped. I think he messed up on the second under zone, but Nakamura didn't have to do anything special to win this one, just because unfortunately Yamanaka took himself out, in my opinion. So yeah, that is the final battle of Formula Drift Japan. And yeah, that's the one thing I can say about drifting. Any little mistake will take you out very quick, and unfortunately Yamanaka just a little too aggressive on the straightaway. I think he might have taken off and got a little bit more ahead of Nakamura than he needed to, and backed up and basically boop, little tap on the straightaway, so he yeets himself out of the way. But then Nakamura is still 1, 2, 3, 4 in whatever gear he's in, and he is rolling, and Yamanaka let off the gas, so naturally the gap just spread. Final 4 run between Kenguchi and Naoki Nakamura. Obviously Naoki did win this event, so let's just see how he got to the finals. Alright, so you got Ken in the back in the chase position at IS 500. It's so beautiful. And Nakamura in the lead position. Great entry from Ken. Oh yeah. Ken, I was gonna say, Ken came inside of the turn a little bit further than he needed to. And so I could see Ken lost him on the transition, coming out of outer zone 2 into outer zone 3, and it forced him to play his hand and basically miss the 4th outer zone, and he just shot straight inside of the turn, which you do not want to do that. It'll put you too far inside, and then when you go around to the 2 inner clips, it'll cause you to drop a tire, which, as you can tell by this run right here, Ken basically dropped a tire on the last 2 inner clips because his arc was not right. And yeah, I would say definitely advantage Naoki Nakamura. And yes, I see and I agree with what they would go with this battle. So yeah, Naoki definitely has an advantage. And here we go, round 2. Obviously Naoki is trying to get into the United States Formula Drift Series, so he's making it known. It was pretty fun to see this. I hope he brings a GR86 as well. That's my favorite car. So. Ooh, perfect pocket. I like it. Oh yeah. Yeah. Naoki definitely won that for sure. he kept his composure, and his spotter told him probably that, hey, Ken made a mistake on the last 2 turns, just stay close. And obviously Naoki didn't play it safe. He actually was closer than Ken was too, which is crazy, seeing that he had such a big advantage. But obviously he did his thing. He killed it. So he really got on his line very, very good. Naoki did a great job at following Ken's line. It seems like he aims at his front wheel and then he'll back up to like middle of the front door and then he just holds it. My top 3 cars right now are the IS 500, the GR86, and the GR Supra. Those are my top 3 cars. So I'm a Toyota person, so I do like seeing these cars going at it. Being said, so Formula Drift Japan has FDJ, FDJ2, and FDJ3. We're just looking at FDJ in overall. So they have 6 rounds, and here are the podiums. So as you can see, Takahashi won the first round, Matsunori got second, and Yamashita got 3rd overall. That was the first round in Fuji. Then Suzuka, Yamashita got the win, Kenguchi got 2nd, and Yamanaka got 3rd. Ebisu, round 3, Kanto won, Yamashita got 2nd, and Yamanaka got 3rd. So as you can tell, 3 podiums in a row, and man, Yamashita was on the tear. Next round, Sugo. So Sugo, the winners was Jun Saito got 2nd, and 3rd was Kenshiro Bushi. And round 5, Yamashita won, Kanta got 2nd, and Matsuyama got 3rd. So then yesterday's podium was Nakamura, Yamanaka, and Kenguchi at 3rd. So congrats to all the year's podiums from round 1 to round 6. Congratulations for making the podiums, and once again, congratulations to Mr. Yamashita. And honestly, if you don't decide to come to the United States, I understand, but I would like to see you in the United States with Nakamura. And with that being said, that is Formula Drift Japan's wrap up of the season. And obviously we got Formula Drift Irwindale in the United States. Boom. Formula Drift Irwindale is this month. It's October 18th and 19th. I think that's around Jared Deanda's birthday, so happy early birthday to Mr. Deanda. And let's look at the Formula Drift United States podiums, since we looked at the Japan podiums as well. So, as you can tell, James Dean is dominated as well. James Dean, Odi Bakshis, Frederick Osbo. Overall, that's the overall standings right now. But let's look at the rounds 1 through 7 so far of all the podiums and all the podium winners. So, round 1, you had James Dean, Simon Olsen, Odi Bakshis. Then, round 2 in Atlanta, you had Frederick Osbo, Simon Olsen 2nd, James Dean 3rd. Then, round 3, Orlando, Connor Shanahan. That was the first person to win the seeding bracket and win the overall 32 bracket. So, Connor Shanahan, James Dean got 2nd. 3rd was Brandon Sorensen. Brandon Sorensen was on a tear as well that event. 4th round, Englishtown, James Dean won. Odi Bakshi 2nd. And Englishtown. St. Louis, round 5. James Dean, Hiroya Manoa, and Frederick Osbo. Boom, boom. Round 6. Ryan Turk got his first win in, I think, 2 years. It's been a minute. It's been a while. Ryan Turk, Hiroya Manoa got 2nd, and Adam LZ got 3rd after building a brand new car after the wreck in St. Louis. That job was nuts. Then, round 7. Round 7, we had Odi Bakshis, Frederick Osbo, and Trenton Beecham Trenton Beecham was going crazy since Seattle, and he did very good in round 7 as well. So hope to see him on the podium, or maybe even get a win in Irwindale. We shall see. But yeah, those are your podiums for the Formula Drift United States Series from round 1 to round 7. And yeah, who will be the podium for round 8? So now you got 1, 2, and third gear. Let me get that 3-pick combo with extra big kill. No Bev is crazy.
Hey! No! Stop! Just calm down! Don't do it!
Let me get that 3-pick combo with extra big kill.
Into the mouth. Nice.
But gear 3. So we're gonna just do a quick little overhaul. Keep it nice, short, and simple. So instead of doing the 40+ drivers of Formula Drift United States win-loss percentages, I got the top 3. So here are James Dean's win and loss percentages. So as you can see, James Dean has had a total of 30 battles, and he has won 26 of them. So, how I came up with these percentages, let's say you got from the top 32 to the finals, and you win all of it, that's 5 wins. So you won your 32, you won your 16, you won your 8, 4, and then finals. So you got 5 wins total. And a loss would be when you lose out. So if you won all the way up to the finals, you got 4 wins, but you did not win that final round, so you lost technically. So that's how you get the 1 loss or whatever. So James Dean overall has competed in 30 rounds or 30 runs and won 26 battles. James Dean has competed in 30 battles and won 26 of them. So his winning percentage is 87%. It's the highest, and that's why he is dominating this year. And Odie Bakshis has competed in 27 overall battles and won 21 of them. So his winning percentage is 77.8, and Frederick Osbo is 17-6. So he's competed in 23 battles and only won 17 of them. And his winning percentage is 73.9. Obviously, the further down you go with points, the lower the winning percentage is. But since they're the top 3, we just decided to break those down. Now let's go ahead and get to breaking down the next rounds of it, because they released the seeding bracket and they released the top 32 battles. So we can break those down really quick and see. Let's pick some winners. Let's get it. As you can see, got a pencil out, got the notebook out, and as you can see, you have the seating bracket right now on your screen. So let's go ahead and break down the seating bracket really quick. As you can tell, that this is going to be, the top 32 bracket is going to be based off of the seating bracket. So if I get one of these wrong, then the whole bracket is technically wrong. But at the same time, this is for fun, and let's just pick our winners really quick. So first things first, obviously you got Stuckey moving on in the seating bracket, so he will 100% be in the top 32 bracket. So Daniel Stuckey gets the bye run, so Daniel Stuckey will win that. Let's do a speed round. Like, you have to do it fast, so no hard thinking, just a quick, this person went, boom. This person versus this person, boom, big. Alright, so let's do a speed round. Von Gittin Jr. versus Dean Kearney. Von. Dimitri Brewski versus Rudy Hansen. Dimitri. Robert Thorne versus Ben Hobson. Ben Hobson. So that's the first side. Boom. Moving over to the second half of the seating bracket. Kyle Mohan versus Derek Madison. D-Mad. Joe Barrion versus Mike Power. Federico versus Diego Higa. Higa. Forrest Wang versus Ryan Littoral. Forrest Wang. So my first overall winners are Stuckey versus Giddin, Brewski versus Hobson, D-Maz versus Mike Power, Higa versus Wang. I don't know if Forrest Wang is doing it, but I would think him versus Ryan Littoral. I'm just going to pick Wang just in case he does do it. But if not, you feel the turn off. Oh, you feel the trade off, I guess you would say. So let's do another quick round. Stuckey versus Gittin. Brewski versus Hobson. D-Maz versus Mike Power. Higa versus Wang. Higa. So then in the final four, you're going to have, on my bracket, the final four seating bracket, you'll have Gittin versus Hobson, and then you'll have Power versus Higa. Alright, so another speed round. Let's see who's going to the finals. Gittin versus Hobson. Vaughn. Gittin. And Power versus Higa. So I'm going to say Mr. Vaughn Gittin Jr. versus Diego Higa, with Vaughn Gittin Jr. getting the win. So he would get the highest amount, highest in the seating bracket. He would get the highest in the seating bracket and the highest in the top 32 bracket. So a lot of math and a lot of putting a bracket together. So my overall top 32 bracket, if the seating bracket fell how I had it, my top 32 bracket would be Odie versus Madison, Haitley versus Castro, Forsberg versus Ginn, Turk versus Novak, James Dean versus Stuckey, Field versus Hull, Jeff versus Hobson, Ken versus Kazuya, Osbo versus Wang, Sorensen versus Burkett, Hughes versus Higa, Manoa versus Olsen, Beecham versus Brewski, Shanahan versus Robbins, Hurst versus Power, and Adam versus Rome. So let's do another speed round. And let's see who wins overall. Who wins overall in this bracket? So, Odie versus Madison. Gonna call it Odie. Castro versus Haitley. I'm gonna say Castro. Forsberg versus Gittin. Turk versus Novak. Turk. James Dean versus Stuckey. James Dean. Field versus Hull. Field. Jeff Jones versus Hobson. Jeff. Ken versus Kazuya. Let's call it Kazuya. Boom. Osbo versus Wang. Let's call it Osbo. Sorensen versus Burkett. Let's call it a good old Sorensen. Let's call it Hughes versus Higa. Hughes. Versus Manoa versus Olsen. I'm going to call it Manoa. Beecham versus Brewski. Call it Beecham. Shanahan versus Robbins. Shanahan. Hurst versus Power. Hurst. Adam versus Rome. Adam. Boom. So, my top 32 winners are Odie, Castro, Gittin, Turk, James Dean, Matt Field, Jeff Jones, and Kazuya Taguchi. Osbo on the other side, we're going to have Osbo, Sorensen, Hughes, Manoa, Beecham, Shanahan, Hurst, and Adam. So, let's see. I got Von Gittin is the only person out of the seating bracket that will win their top 32. Obviously, if there was a round 9, then Von will be the only one staying in the top 32 if you were to compete in that. But there's only 8 rounds, so we're gonna call it that. And let's move on to the next battles. All right, so now let's get it into the Great 8. So, first things first, I got Odie versus Castro. Let's call it Odie. So, Odie wins that. Turk versus Gittin. I'm going to go say Turk. Turk's going to win that. So, we have Odie versus Turk there. Then let's go ahead and go to James Dean versus Matt Field at Irwindale. A lot of people know what happened last year. That was nuts. I was there in person, and I went down to the vendors and stuff to buy a couple of shirts, and I came up. I heard a lot of cheering and stuff, and then I heard a lot of silence, and then we walked up and saw James Dean on the side. That was a crazy experience. But moving on. So, James Dean versus Matt Field. I'm going to go ahead and say James Dean. Then I'm going to go ahead and go with Jeff Jones versus Kazuya. I'm going to say Kazuya. So, on your grade 8, you got Odie versus Turk, Jeff Jones versus Kazuya. That's on the left side of the bracket. So, moving on to the right side, you got Osbo versus Sorensen. Osbo's gonna pull it out. Well, let's call it Osbo versus Sorensen. Osbo's gonna pull it out. That's a tough battle right there. Osbo versus, you got Hughes versus Manoa. Let's go with Manoa. And then you got Beecham versus Shanahan. Call me crazy. Trenton Beecham. Beecham wins against Shanahan. As crazy as that sounds. Hurst versus Adam. So, now on the right side of the bracket, you have Osbo versus Manoa, once again, and Beecham versus Adam LZ. So, let's go back over to the left side, and let's get to it. So, Odie versus Turk. Odie. James versus Kazuya. James. Osbo versus Manoa. Beecham versus Adam LZ. So, in the final 4, we have Odie versus James, Manoa versus Osbo. Manoa versus Adam LZ. So, let's get right to it. Odie versus James. And Manoa versus Adam. Leaving it up to James Dean and Adam LZ. Adam. And that is no fan service or anything. I think Adam LZ, if everything falls in order, can win Irwindale. As long as nothing goes wrong and there's no mechanical failures or anything, I think Adam should win it. But this is just all for fun. This is just something to do and quick rounds. Because honestly, there's a lot of these that I'm like, I'm not sure. But at the same time, there's a lot of them that I am sure about. But it was a quick round. And fill out a bracket. Let me know what you think. Go from the seating bracket on to the top 32 bracket like I did. And just shoot me a DM or something. Yeah. Adam OZ, W, right after his Drift Masters podium. And yeah, that will conclude Gear 3. Now, are you tired of being sized up just from how your shoes look? That junk look, boy, let's just say you walked up in the crib, right? Your family start picking on you because you got that FUBUs on. You can't be walking around just like your car. Your car can't be walking around on no FUBUs, you feel what I'm saying? So, just so you don't be walking around with no FUBUs and you don't get judged wrong, you feel me? I'm going to need you to head over to Stage Wheels right now. I'll wait. Done? They done ordered? Cool. I hope you got the Monroes, because then you can match me. Because I got Stage Wheels on my car. And I plan on getting some more. So, click on over to stagewheels.com and go crazy. Tell them Chandler sent you. 170 ONE7TY. Boom. Follow me on Twitch at CC_170. Follow the team on Instagram at Crawford Incorporated. And follow my personal Instagram at 170. That's ONE7TY. And follow the show's Instagram at TheOne7tyShow. You know how to say it now. You know how to spell it now. Go get some Stage Wheels because you tripping right now, bro. The fact that you don't got no... Nerd. What it is, what it ain't. What it could be, what it should be, what it would be. What up? So, class is in session, as you can tell. We back outside, you feel me? And, yeah. So, let's talk about it. Class in session. What are you willing to do to get where you want to be? And that all leads into the question of, are you disciplined? I asked this question because in order to be great, or in order to be dominant in anything that you want to do, there's going to take some work and it's going to take some discipline, right? And what I mean by that, well, it simply boils down to the fact that to be disciplined, it starts as simple as waking up at the same time every day, brushing your teeth the same way, and every little thing that you do every day can lead to success in the future. And what I like to look at it as, like, for instance, drifting and bowling. You would think they have nothing in common, right? But that's not true. If the world is your library, I feel like you can consistently get yourself in a position to succeed. So let's say, for instance, growing up, I never really liked bowling or anything, right? But the more I started drifting and competing in virtual competitions and in real life, the more I realized there's more similarities in bowling, football, or whatever, or just everyday living that I can take into drifting. And what I like to look at it as, the bowling, for example, obviously your first game is usually an okay game or whatever, but you're going to play more than one game in your bowling sessions typically, right? The average person will play 2 or 3 or 4 games. But what I like to look at it in bowling is, that is a way to help me practice for consistency, because bowling, everybody knows that has been bowling. The longer that you play over and over and over, the more the ball gets heavy and blah blah blah, the more you get tired and your score starts to drop. Obviously in drifting you want to remain consistent, so in bowling you want to find a happy medium, like a good ball weight, or get your stance right, get your form right and everything right. You want to get everything down pat, and you want to find a good percentage range of how hard you need to roll the ball, how you need to stand, and how you need to do this and that. Same thing for drifting. You don't always want to go 100% at all times, because if you go 100%, you're likely to knock yourself out or crash or something, right? And obviously, bowling, you can get to your first game, that could be your best game. You might bowl a 200 something or whatever, right? And then game 2, it's a little bit lower. Game 3, you're still at 100%, going all crazy and stuff. Go a little bit lower, and then a little bit lower. And your 100% is realistically what you could have been at going 70 to 80%. You feel what I'm saying? So if you consistently can find yourself at a really comfortable level, and you can, the longer you're in the bowling games, like, so the more games you have, if you can get it to where your score is consistently the same, or you get better as you progress throughout the day, I think that is a good way to build up a good level of consistency. It sounds crazy and simple because we're using bowling and drifting and we're putting them together, but realistically, same thing with drifting. If you can find a level that you're confident and you're comfortable, hey, all you need to do is beat everybody. You feel me? You don't have to risk it all every single time. Obviously there's different styles and stuff, but find your comfort level. That's the one thing I can say. And like I said, the world is always going to be your oyster or your library, so you can learn any and everything from everyday living. Always remember that. Consistency doesn't just mean in the game of bowling or anything. That was just an example. Like, you can take two sports that have nothing to do with each other, and you can put them together and make it to where they actually have a lot of similarities, right? And yeah, so this is what I would challenge you to do. Discipline yourself. It always starts with day one, but discipline yourself. I would like to say a quick way to get really disciplined is make your outfits every night before bed. That is definitely a good way to get started. And then when you wake up, you can just put on your clothes and then boom, boom, boom. You got energy and all that stuff, and it's not wasted in the morning. You feel a little bit better because you actually took the time to lay out and pick out your clothes. Then another thing about consistency and discipline comes down to the fact that you want to do the same thing every day, no matter how many times you do it. So, for instance, I work at a dealership and I work on the cars. You want to get a consistent flow so you can consistently get cars out, boom, 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 and that's how you're gonna make money. Start by, in the morning, let's say you brush your teeth with your right hand or left hand, whatever. Consistently do that. That will work out. So consistently brush your teeth. You should know realistically what leg you put in your pant first. You should know what shoe you put on first, what sock you put on first. You should know this because realistically you should be disciplined to do it. And that's one thing I do challenge you to just get disciplined. Whatever profession it is. Also find the similarities in life. anything and everything.
Yeah, at the end of the day, always remember, stay consistent, stay legendary. I'll see you later.
There's joy that's awaiting for your life.
Yes, sir.
What you've been praying for, I want you to get ready to make space for, because God is about to send that thing to you and it's going to blow your mind. Don't you worry about any enemy, any hater, because God says here, prepare a table in the presence of your enemy. No table, no enemies. No enemies, no table. So keep your head up. God is in charge and he's still large. Now, I want you to know that every time you go through a struggle in life, God has developed you to be all that you can be. God uses struggle and trouble and pain and trauma and depression, all these things to build your character. So don't you quit, don't you give up. The scripture says, be not weary in well doing.
Keep going.
Those of you that are watching right now, I speak life into your life, that no weapon formed against you shall be able to prosper. Everything that you're going through got purpose. The book says in Romans 8:28, for we know that all things work together for good. So it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. It's making you stronger. Every storm, every valley, it's going to show you who your friends are. It's going to show you who you really are, and it's going to show you who God is. And lastly, I want to tell you one more thing, that whatever the devil meant for harm, God about to switch that thing up and turn it for good. It's going to be great in your life. I speak prosperity. I speak expansion. I speak increase and overflow. And if you're watching me right now, repeat this after me. Come on, I need you to repeat this after me. I need more than enough.
I need more than enough.
Because just enough ain't good enough. So God gonna overflow you. He's gonna put you in positions, open up rooms for you. And when you get in that room, you're gonna have to have the right posture. Don't walk in the room like you own it, but walk in it like God sent you there on an assignment. And I promise you, you're gonna be blessed for the rest of your life. That's the word from the bishop.